मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। It is our extreme pleasure that today to talk about yoga traditions, their contribution to health and well-being. We have eminent guests with us like Yogachar Shri S. Sridharan ji, who is leading yoga expert and trustee Krishnagmachar Yog Mandiram Chennai. Heartily welcome you sir. आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है हमारे संस्थान के इस प्रोग्राम में और आपका बहुत स्वागत। साथ ही आपने हमारा अनुरोध स्वीकार किया, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर।
Thank you.
I would also like to welcome Yogachar Dr. Vishwas Vasant Mandlik sir, who is President of Yog Vidya Dham, Nasik, Maharashtra. आपका भी बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सर। I also like to welcome Dr. Ishwar Bharadwaj sir, who is former professor and head Department of Yogic Science, गुरुकुल कांगड़ी यूनिवर्सिटी हरिद्वार। आपका भी बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सर इस कार्यक्रम में। I would also like to welcome Director of Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, Dr. Ishwar V. Basav Reddy sir with us. आपका भी बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सर। I would also like to welcome Mohammad Tayyab Alam sir, who is Communication and Documentation Officer of MDNIY. आपका भी बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सर। Now I would like to request Director of MDNIY, Dr. Ishwar V.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Respected Dr. Vishwas Mandlik ji, Dr. Ishwar Bharadwaj ji, respected Sridharan ji, and my colleagues in the institute, Shri Tayabalam ji, Dr. Vandana, faculty members, students, yoga enthusiasts who are joining this webinar through various social media platforms of the institute from different parts of the world. My pranams to you all. At the outset, it is a very short notice to conduct this webinar on yoga traditions, the contribution to the health and well-being. The reason for choosing the day is today Dayanand Saraswati, Swami Dhirendra Brahmachari ji, and there are many eminent yogis has contributed, and we celebrated National Yoga Week on this day for more than 10 years, where all the eminent yoga masters of different traditions and lineages used to come and join us every year. Now, during the pandemic, though we are not able to invite all the experts on this auspicious day, but to mark that February 12th, where we started almost 15 years back, National Yoga Week celebrations. That is the event to celebrate or the union of all the yoga traditions, yoga masters. I do know Sridharan ji, Ishwar ji and Mandlik ji, they recollect their memories that we all together for 1 week from 12th February, and we share, we discuss. That's why day for yesterday we decided the evening time to decide, yes, why don't let us have one webinar to remember the day on 12th February, where all traditional lineages masters were joining here in this campus. But through this time, at least through webinar, through social media platform. So in the short notice, eminent yoga masters like Ishwar Bharadwaj ji, Vishwas Mandlik ji, Sridharan ji, They are very kind enough to accept our invitation. Yesterday evening only we requested them. They are very kind enough to come and share their views on different yoga traditions and lineages and their contribution in the health and well-being. So I just would like to present three important uh, you know, points for the deliberations. So the first of all, yoga has a vast history of more than 5,000 years, but we can get the literature or more than 3,500 years or more. So over the centuries, yoga has been evolved, and from the time to time, many well-known yogacharyas, yoga gurus, yoga masters, we call them rishis or sages. They have enriched this system by their sadhana, not just by study, but they practice it. So they practice in its totality and bring forward new dimensions. Those new dimensions are relevant in that time period, in their the place. It's called Kala and Desha. So I found the prime period of 2500 years back where Kapila, then Buddha, even Samakalina Mahavira, then later on Patanjali, then their commentators. So it is called the Sutra Kala, where the abstract yogic ideas has been formulated and put forward in the systematized format. The same thing happened in the Greece and in Europe also. So I was talking about their Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, then their disciples. They were also the great thinkers. So if you can see the teachings of these great yoga masters, so you can find the unity in their teachings. There may be different dimensions, but there is a unity that is called the self, understanding the self. The spirit is the essence, and spirituality is the heart of yoga, the core of yoga. On this dimension, later on, various tradition, jnana, bhakti, karma, hatha, schools of yoga, what we call, or kinds of yoga, have been emerged. In the modern times, we can see Aurobindo, Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, Ramana Maharshi, many scholars, many yogis. Then in the contemporary times, there are many yogis. Now the lineages have been come. Only one I will mention, like this one Krishnamachari's lineage. There are four teachers, and before Krishnamachari's, there is a parampara of more than 400 years. So like this, you can say to Swami Shivananda of Rishikesh. Same thing, it will go to next Satyanandji, then other parampara. Swami Rama, then Swami Kuvalyananda, then Yogendraji in Santakrush. So like this, there are so many yoga masters. They carry forward their teachings of their teachers, and but also they have contributed, enrich the knowledge by their contribution for their sadhana. So like this, the different traditions first, then there are lineages. They are continuing. All of them are contributed for what? For the welfare of the human being, health and well-being of the entire mankind. That is the most important thing. On this very important day, all our scholars, so will 15 to 20 minutes. We'll take a very small outlet, 15 minutes or maximum 20 minutes. They will present their views on different traditions and their contributions for the health and well-being. With these few introductory remarks, I once again welcome all the three eminent experts and also all the viewers for this very important webinar. And also, I congratulate my colleagues for arranging in a very short notice this very important webinar. These few words, I take a break to my words. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Om Shant Shant Shanti.
I would like to request Yogacharya Sri S. Sridharan ji, who is leading yoga expert in Trustee Krishnamacharya Yog Mandiram, Chennai, to deliver his address. Sir.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Namaste, Dr. Ishwar Basareddy. Namaste, Dr. Malik, Dr. Ishwar Bharadwaj, and namaste to all the viewers. Let me start with a prayer. Shri Krishna Vagisha Yathishwarabhyam Samprapta Chakrankana Bhashya Saram श्रीनूत्नरङ्गेन्द्र यतौ समर्पितस्वं श्रीकृष्णमार्यं गुरुवर्यमीडे विरोधे कार्तिके मासे शतताराकृतोदयम् योगाचार्यं कृष्णमार्यं गुरुवर्यमहं भजे कृष्णसूरीदयापात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्देकं योगदेशिकम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः तुष्टुवागं सस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Namaste and good morning. And as Dr. Basareddy was saying, he took us all to the timeline of when we had yoga festivals. And I remember being there in the company of Dr. Vishwas Vasant Mandik and Dr. Bharadwaji also, and a lot of eminent people. They are coming to our mind now. And I thank Dr. Basareddy for giving this opportunity to share some thoughts on yoga traditions, their contributions to health and well-being. Well, the first thing is about tradition. And at Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, which I represent, the tradition goes like this, like Sri Krishnamacharya, who lived between 1888 and 1989, and to his son and disciple T.K. Desikachar, 1938 to 2016. And from there, we get into Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, established in 1976. One or two thoughts on this tradition, as Dr. Basareddy very clearly, nicely put it in place, tracing the yoga to the Vedic period, to the Darshana period, and later. Most of the texts are there and they are still followed. Interestingly, because yoga traces its origin to Vedas, and Veda, the message of the Vedas cannot be directly understood. So we get itihasas and Puranas, most important, and then darshanas. And even before Darshana, Itihasa, Puranas, there are a lot of message about the yoga. And for example, let us take the Itihasa Mahabharata, where we get Bhagavad Gita, which is considered as a yoga shastra. So it comes in the Itihasa Mahabharata. Of course, in Ramayana also, Yoga Vashishta is considered to be a yoga text. So the traditions have three at least minimum of timeline now. One is a timeline before um, great yogis like Krishnamacharya, Shivananda, and others, about whom Dr. Basaveddi mentioned very clearly. So that tradition itself, interestingly, starts at the level of Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma. For example, if we take Yoga Yajnavalkya Samhita, it says this tradition, the teachings are given by Brahma. Hatha Yoga Pratipika, it Shiva. And if you take Bhagavad Gita, it is Krishna. Krishna says, I am Vishnu, etc. And even Patanjali is considered to be an avatara of Adishesha who served Vishnu. So somewhere like this, we can give how the devatas have traditions. But we generally start at the level of the modern day yogacharyas of great contribution, which includes Krishnamacharya, Shivananda, and there have been a lot of Siddhas in the south, Siddha Purushas. They have all come, maybe in the 19th, 20th centuries, etc. Now, the latest is with regard to, as Dr. Basareddy said, we have institutionalized traditions like Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, Yoga Institute, Kaivalya Dham. So we get institutionalized traditions. These institutions are taking and passing on their traditions, which has been come. Now, in fact, one sloka that comes to my mind is we always recite Guru Bhyastad Guru Bhyascha Namo Vakamadhimake Urunimake Chatatradhyau Dampati Jagatam Gurubhyaha, I prostrate, I offer my prayers to my teacher, Gurubhyaha, Sadgurubhyasya to his teacher, by totally all the Karanas. Namova Kamadhimahe, Vrunimahe, I praise them. Tad Adyo, the first one, Dampati, they are a couple, Jagadampati. So they are a couple. Generally in Indian traditions, the Supreme Being is also looked at as a couple. So it starts from the first couple. It can be Lakshmi, Vishnu, Narayana, Lakshmi, or Shiva, Parvati, or Saraswati and Brahma, everything, everywhere. So now I will go into quickly about Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. It's a public charitable trust, as I said, established in April 1976. And today we have so many departments: yoga therapy department, yoga studies department, healing chants, research department, media, outreach, and Mitra. Mitra therapy takes care of the therapy work. I'm going to talk about it. Studies takes care of the background, offering various courses. Healing chants, one of the most important department is about Vedic chanting, where Vedic chanting teachers are produced and they are in turn how to use the Vedic mantra. Research is continuously going on about the efficacy of how the yoga applications have taken results. Media is there. Outreach is a program where we go out and teach. Mitra is where philanthropic work on yoga is done. Yoga therapy is the prime activity which address the health and well-being. How do I link this tradition to the contribution to health and well-being is basically at KYM level, the therapy is the prime activity and which certainly takes care of health and well-being. All other departments here supports and revolves around this therapy. So when we want a therapist, when we want a therapy consultant, we need those people to be qualified. That's where the tradition also comes. You see, we would like to apply the teachings of Krishnamacharya and Desikacharya in the therapy work. When we want to do that, we need to get them qualified for that. So we have primarily two important courses which offer like yoga teach training program, which is more than 700 hours, 700 to 800 hours, and spreads over a period of at least 2 years. There is intermittent time because people will have to assimilate their studies. There is one more called yoga therapy therapist program, therapist consultant program. These two, apart from both offered India and international, they take care of producing the right type of teachers and in this tradition. And how do we take care of the tradition? Because we have material, we have material which has come on basis of what our teachers have given, and we also follow a system called mentor. So every student, every teacher produced will have a mentor. That mentor is the way in which these traditional things are taken care of. Chants, very important, which supports the therapy. We have found a lot of unique effects of chanting with regard to therapeutic value. And outreach and mitra is largely to take care of the need of those needy people who cannot come and take advantage at the place here. Now, there is a strong international presence of KYM through uh, teachers who have come in this tradition. Now, what is the therapy approach to the health and well-being at KYM in this tradition? What is the speciality of your tradition? That's the next question that arises. In this tradition, every individual is treated separately. Of course, it doesn't mean that we have only therapy. We do have programs for fitness, for example. When it comes to health and well-being, it can be illness based and wellness based. In fitness also we have, even for fitness, it is even though we try and we give some group classes for fitness, we have found that individually treating everyone individually has more benefit, advantages, and risks are reduced. And our primary thing in this tradition is individual are separated, and the classes are offered on a one-on-one basis with a supervision. In fact, to start with, there will be a consultation. The consultation is most important. This is what we follow from our teacher Krishnamacharya and Deshikacharya. After consultation, especially how a course has to be done, which includes various things. I am going to talk about how this is done. Classes are offered by the qualified teacher under a supervision of a therapist also. Follow-up is done. There is an use in this tradition, there is a use of basket of tools. It is not only one tool, asana, pranayama, dhyana, or it's a basket of tools, including chanting of mantras. And an integration of them will also happen. For example, when we do a particular posture, there will be a breathing component which is important in this tradition. So when we raise arms, lower arms, whether it is movement or stay, there will be a breathing, and the breathing will not be left separately. There will be some syllables or mantras which can be added there. Of course, I am very clearly, let us be very clear, this tradition does not impose any particular god or anything. So the syllables and all will be suitably modified according to the belief of the individuals. Training programs are very comprehensive, extensive, and so this is how a tradition, as a tradition, Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram is passing on the message of the teacher Krishnamacharya through what we have received through our teacher and founder Sri T.K.V. Desikacharya. I hope I have carried some message about the great tradition of Krishnamacharya which we are now following here. And our work on therapy has been found to be very, very effective. And there has been a lot of, now we are online as well. We are also online as well. And we pass on this tradition in the modern digital platforms also. With this, I thank Dr. Basavareddy for giving me this opportunity, and I would like to close with this closing chant again. Om Shanno Mitra Shamvarunah Shanno Bhavat Varyama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्भक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Thank you.
थैंक यू
Thank
सो
you, sir.
मच सर, थैंक यू फॉर दिस वंडरफुल लेक्चर। आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, बहुत धन्यवाद। Now I would like to request Dr. Ishwar Bharadwaj sir, who is former head professor and head department of yogic science, Gurukul Kangri University, Haridwar. Sir has almost 35 years of teaching and research experience. So it is an honor that you have joined us today, sir. आपका भी बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। Over to you, sir.
आवाज आ रही है?
आ रहे हैं सर, आ रहे हैं, आ रहे हैं सर, आ रहे हैं।
ओम यो भूतं च भव्यं च सर्वं यश्चादितिष्ठति स्वर्यस्य च केवलं तस्मै ज्येष्ठाय ब्रह्मणे नमः। ओम शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्नेन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु मामवतु वक्तारम्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। आज के इस वेबिनार के आयोजक भी और मोरारजी देसाई नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ योग के माननीय निदेशक, योग विद्या के लिए समर्पित व्यक्तित्व और जिन्होंने योग के क्षेत्र में आने के बाद पीछे मुड़कर नहीं देखा, ऐसे हमारे आदरणीय, सम्मानित और प्रिय डॉक्टर ईश्वर बासव रेड्डी जी, उनका मैं हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। मेरे बहुत ही सम्मानित और इसमें योग के क्षेत्र में जिन्होंने एक अपना अलग से व्यक्तित्व स्थापित किया है, आदरणीय मांडलिक जी, उनका भी मैं यहाँ इस वेबिनार के अवसर पर नम्रता पूर्वक अभिनंदन करता हूं। और हमारे बहुत ही सम्माननीय, हमारे बहुत सारी मीटिंग में हम साथ रहे हैं, आदरणीय भी हैं और हमारे लिए बड़े भाई की श्रेणी में हैं डॉक्टर श्रीधरन जी। उनको भी मेरी तरफ से बहुत नम्रता पूर्वक प्रणाम। ये आयोजन आज जो हो रहा है, यह स्वामी धीरेन्द्र ब्रह्मचारी जी के जन्म दिवस पर किया जा रहा है। इसके लिए मैं आदरणीय डॉक्टर बासव रेड्डी जी को हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। मैं स्वामी धीरेन्द्र ब्रह्मचारी जी के सानिध्य में रह के कुछ योगाभ्यास सीखा है और मुझे प्रसन्नता है कि ऐसे गुरु के सम्मान में उन्होंने ये आयोजन किया है। ये मोरारजी देसाई नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ योग स्वामी धीरेन्द्र ब्रह्मचारी जी की कल्पना का साकार रूप है। उन्होंने योग को इतना विस्तार दिया और आज अंतरराष्ट्रीय स्तर पर मोरारजी देसाई नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ योग ने जो ख्याति प्राप्त की है उसके मूल में स्वामी जी का आशीर्वाद है। मैं एक शिष्य होने के नाते उनको उनके जन्म दिवस पर श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूँ। टॉपिक रखा है विभिन्न योगिक ट्रेडिशन और उनका हेल्थ और वेलबींग के लिए उपयोग। मैं समझता हूँ बहुत लंबा विषय है। संक्षेप में मैं प्रयास करूंगा कि कुछ संकेत कर सकूं। ट्रेडिशन जो हम मानते हैं वो भक्ति योग, ज्ञान योग, कर्म योग, राजयोग, हठ योग, लय योग और दूसरी बहुत सारी विधाएं आज प्रकाश में आई हैं और इन सब के माध्यम से शारीरिक, मानसिक और आध्यात्मिक तीनों ही दृष्टिकोण से हम विकसित हो सकते हैं। लेकिन मुख्य रूप से आज जो प्रयोग में आने वाली विधा है वो हठ योग है या राजयोग साधना है। भक्ति योग एक संत परंपरा है जो अनवरत काल से चली आ रही है। ज्ञान योग की भी परंपरा बहुत लंबी है। शंकराचार्य और सब उसी परंपरा के हैं। भक्ति में मीरा और सूर आदि, तुलसी आदि उस परंपरा के हैं। तो एक परंपरा है, लेकिन सबका हम व्यक्तिगत रूप से भी, सामाजिक रूप से भी, शारीरिक रूप से, मानसिक रूप से और आध्यात्मिक रूप से लाभान्वित होते हैं। और इसमें हम मुख्य रूप से अगर आज के संदर्भ में हम बात करें तो हठ योग के आसन, प्राणायाम, षटकर्म की क्रियाएं मुख्य रूप से हेल्थ के लिए काम करने वाली है। लेकिन केवल शारीरिक नहीं, हम मानसिक की भी बात करें तो पतंजलि के योग के स्वरूप को छोड़ नहीं सकते। महर्षि पतंजलि ने जिस साधना की बात की, स्वामी विवेकानंद ने ये कहा था कि भक्ति, उपासना, कर्म, मन संयम और ज्ञान, ये चार मुख्य विधियां मानी हैं, ज्ञान, भक्ति, कर्म और राजयोग की। इन चारों का या किसी एक का आश्रय लेकर के साधना की सफलता प्राप्त करो और मुक्त हो जाओ। एक एक भी अपने आप में पूर्ण है और यदि हम सबका समन्वय करके लेके चलें तो तब भी हम उससे पूर्ण लाभ प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। जहां भक्ति की बात करते हैं हम, नवधा भक्ति उसमें मुख्य रूप से आती है। श्रवणम, कीर्तनम, विष्णु स्मरणम, पाद सेवनम, अर्चनम, वंदनम, दास्यम, सख्यम, आत्मनिवेदनम और आत्मनिवेदन अंतिम है, वही ईश्वर प्रणिधान है। महर्षि पतंजलि जिस ईश्वर प्रणिधान की बात करते हैं वो यहाँ आत्मनिवेदन के रूप में है। कबीर कहते हैं, कबीर कुत्ता राम का मुखिया मेरा नाम, गले राम की जेवड़ी जित खेचे तित जाओ, तो करे तो बाहुड़ो, दूर दूर करे तो जाऊं, जो हरि राखे तो रहूं। ये मूल थीम है। जो हरि राखे तो रहूं, जो देवे सो पाऊं। ये आत्मनिवेदन, ईश्वर प्रणिधान, परमात्मा के अनुकूल हो जाना, उसके प्रति समर्पण करके हमने अपना अस्तित्व ही मिटा दिया। यद्यपि भक्ति में दो द्वैत सदा बना रहता है। दो नहीं होंगे तो भक्ति कहाँ होगी? एक ईश्वर होगा और एक भक्त होगा। तो भक्त और भगवान दोनों हैं तो अलग, लेकिन भगवान के अनुकूल होकर के अपने आप का अस्तित्व मिटा देना, ये वास्तव में भक्ति कहलाता है। और जब परमात्मा के सुपुर्द कर दिया जाता है तो उसका अपना कुछ नहीं रहता, तो उसको कोई संताप नहीं होता, कोई कष्ट नहीं होता, सब कष्टों से वो मुक्त हो जाता। ज्ञान की साधना में जहां ज्ञानियों की बात करें, विवेक वैराग्य सठ संपत्ति मोक्षत्व, ये तो मुख्य साधन बहिरंग कहलाए हैं, जिनके माध्यम से हम परमात्मा की ओर उन्मुख होकर उसकी उसकी खोज में, उसके प्रति समर्पण के लिए अपने आप को तैयार करते हैं। फिर श्रवण मनन निधिध्यासन, इसको आंतरिक साधना कहा है। इसके माध्यम से हम साक्षात्कार तक पहुंचते हैं। तो जो ज्ञान और भक्ति दोनों ही लक्ष्य एक ही है, परमात्मा तक पहुंचना। इसी प्रकार से कर्म योग की साधना है, जहां योगा कर्म सुकौशलम कहा है गीता में। कर्म में कुशलता का अर्थ है निष्काम कर्म करना, जिससे त्रिविध कर्मों से हम बच जाएं। शुक्ल कृष्ण और शुक्ल कृष्ण, इन तीनों प्रकार के कर्मों से बच करके जो चतुर्थ प्रकार का कर्म है शुक्ल है कृष्ण, उसको संपादित करें तो हम अपने आप को परमात्मा के निकट पहुंचा देते हैं। क्योंकि वहां संस्कार नहीं बनते, और जब संस्कार नहीं बनेंगे तो जीवन होने का, जो जन्म होने का कारण है, वही नष्ट हो जाएगा। तो उसके नष्ट होने से हम मुक्त हो जाएंगे। वही साधना की स्थिति राजयोग साधना की है। मन संयम करके, और पतंजलि कहते हैं अभ्यास वैराग्य अभ्यास निरोध है। अभ्यास और वैराग्य, इनके द्वारा चित्त का संयम करके हम आगे बढ़े और उस साधना की स्थिति तक पहुंचे जहां परमात्मा के साथ पुरुष का मेल होता है। इसको स्वरूपावस्थान कहा है। तदा दृष्टु स्वरूप अवस्थान, दृष्टा की निज स्वरूप में स्थिति हो जाती है। तो अपना जो दृष्टा का स्वरूप है वो उस परमात्मा के जैसा ही है अलग, लेकिन उस परमात्मा की सन्निधि उसको प्राप्त हो जाती है। यही स्वरूपावस्थान है। और हठयोग के लिए तो कहा जाता बोलता है हमें राजयोग की साधना के लिए तैयार करना है। केवल राजयोग है हठ विद्या उपदेश थे। हठ विद्या का उपदेश स्वात्मा राम जी ने राजयोग साधना के लिए किया था, लेकिन हठयोग साधना ही आज मुख्य है। और इसके ही आसन प्राणायाम सत्कर्मों का प्रयोग करके हम स्वास्थ्य लाभ कर रहे हैं। विभिन्न प्रकार की जो अनुसंधान चल रहे हैं वो भी इन्हीं के ऊपर है। सत्कर्म से, आसन से, प्राणायाम से, ध्यान से, इन्हीं का प्रयोग करते हुए हमें स्वास्थ्य के प्रति जागृति मिल रही है। और इन्हीं के प्रयोजन सिद्ध करने के लिए हम राजयोग की साधना की तरफ जब बढ़ेंगे, परमात्मा की तरफ को बढ़ेंगे। शरीर माध्यम खलु धर्म साधना आवश्यक है, शरीर के बिना कुछ संभव नहीं है। इसलिए शरीर को प्राथमिक स्तर पर हम तैयार करें। और बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें महर्षि पतंजलि ने बताई हैं, जिनका जीवन में उपयोग करके हम अपने जीवन को उस स्थिति तक पहुंचा सकते हैं जहां तक पहुंच करके वापस लौटना नहीं होता। टाइम देखो, अभी साधना की जो स्थिति है वो हम इनमें से किसी भी एक विधि का प्रयोग करके भी आगे बढ़ सकते हैं। इनका सम्मिलित रूप से प्रयोग करके भी हम आगे बढ़ सकते हैं। और जैसे महर्षि पतंजलि ने ईश्वर प्रणिधान के लिए भी कहा है, समाधि सिद्धि ईश्वर प्रणिधान, अष्टांग योग के लिए भी कहा है, और अभ्यास वगैरह के मुख्य साधन माने हैं। विवेक विवेक ख्याति जो है वो ज्ञान योग की साधना से संबंधित है। तो उन्होंने भी हमारे साधन के रूप में सबको समर्पित करके रखा है, लेकिन हम उनका प्रयोग अपने व्यक्तित्व के, अपनी बुद्धि के, अपने अभ्यास के स्तर के अनुसार प्रयोग करके और लक्ष्य की प्राप्ति तक पहुंच सकते हैं, ऐसा मेरा विचार है। और केवल एक साधना, चाहे वो राजयोग है, चाहे भक्ति योग है, चाहे ज्ञान योग है, चाहे कर्म योग है, उनका प्रयोग करके भी हम उस स्थिति तक पहुंच सकते हैं। तो ये जो विभिन्न ट्रेडिशन हमारे चले आ रहे हैं, विभिन्न शास्त्रों के माध्यम से जो हमें मिले हैं, उन सबका अपने अपने दृष्टिकोण से विशेष स्थान है। और जब मन स्वस्थ होता है तो शरीर स्वस्थ होता है, इसलिए मन को स्वस्थ रखने के लिए भी हमें इनका प्रयोग करना है। और मन स्वस्थ होगा, शरीर स्वस्थ होगा, तभी हम कोई भी साधना या कोई भी भौतिक कार्य करने में समर्थ हो पाएंगे। जो मानसिक स्वास्थ्य है वो कहीं शारीरिक स्वास्थ्य से भी अधिक महत्व रखता है। इसलिए केवल हम शरीर को ठीक रख लें ये संभव नहीं होता। बीमारियां भी जो आती हैं पहले मन में आती हैं, बाद में शरीर में प्रकट होती है। इसलिए हम मन और शरीर दोनों को, जो अन्योन्य आश्रित संबंध है, उन दोनों को संवेद लेकर के चले और साधना की तरफ अग्रसर हों। ये मेरा विचार है कि साधना की जो विभिन्न पद्धतियां शास्त्रों में वर्णित हैं वो अपने आप में सक्षम है आपको लक्ष्य तक पहुंचाने में। मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं डॉक्टर बासोरेड्डी जी का, और आज के इस स्वामी धीरेन्द्र ब्रह्मचारी जी के जन्म दिवस के उपलक्ष्य में आयोजित इस वेबिनार में मैं पुनः स्वामी जी के प्रति श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूँ। ओम शांति।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। Now I would like to request Yogachar Dr. Vishwas Basant Mandlik sir, who is President Yog Vidya Dham, Nasik, Maharashtra. He is the founder of Yog Vidya Dham and is considered one of the foremost yoga teachers in India. He was awarded with Prime Minister's National Award in 2018. It is an honor, sir, that you have joined us today. आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है. Over to you, sir.
Hari Om. Respected Dr. Basareddy ji, Yogacharya Sridharan ji, Dr. Bharadwaj ji, I definitely thanks all of you. Today we have to discuss the traditions and contribution to the health and wellness. If you consider the basic yoga, as everybody knows, yoga is a development of Atman to Paramatman. Both of the speakers have explained the same thing. that yoga is meant for merging Atman with Paramatma. Atman is connected with the body and mind. That you get disconnected from that and elevate. So it's elevation of Atman to Paramatma. And most of the traditions talk about this. If you consider the ancient traditions, there was no question of health and wellness at all. This question has came in the recent age only. So actually, we can say yoga is meant for a healthy person, and then only he can develop. But if you think of the process from Atman to Paramatman, it's a developmental process. It's called evolution. But it is development of Atman to Paramatman. So we can conclude that yoga is a process of development. Ultimate development, Atman to Paramatman. But on practical aspect, or the primary level, we can say, it's a development of total personality. And personality includes physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual also. For a common person, spiritual development is not so important because a common person is involved in day-to-day life. Their health is very important. But how the health comes in picture? You see, development is there. So development is there from the stage wherever you are. And a common person is on a very primary level, maybe on the physical level, maybe on the mental, emotional, intellectual, spiritual also. So common person is worried about his health only. And nowadays health has become the prime importance of human life. Because there are a lot of disturbing factors and health gets disturbed. So how the health came in picture then? Again, I want to mention one more important point. That yoga is a developmental process, no doubt. But at the same time, I want to say that yoga is a process of normalization. It's a development, but for developmental stage, normalization is very important. If normalization is not there, for any level, all levels are same. Whenever I talk, it's all same. So normalization must be there. Otherwise, development is not possible. And yoga is meant for everybody. Anybody can practice yoga and achieve the target. That is a common concept. And those who are having normal things, they can develop fast. But those are not at normal level. They need to bring to the normal level. And then the development will start. That is why the yogic practices are definitely take care of this point. If there is no normalization, then yogic practices bring it to normal. And then development starts. And then ultimately it reaches to Paramatman or Ishwar. So that is how the logical is that yogic practices can help to bring normalization. Now let us consider the physical condition. Physical normalization is health, as defined by WHO and all. But it is not there. So if physical health is not normal, that means it is disease. Because anything abnormal is disease. Above normal or below normal, still it is disease. So when the disease is there, that means there is something abnormal. There is no normal. So yogic practices can help to bring that condition to normal. That is our regular experience also, practical experience. I take a simple example of weight. Normal weight is been defined by the health experts. Okay, if weight is more, obesity, it is abnormal. If weight is less, it is also abnormal. You may call it disease or not, but there are abnormal things are there. Now, when we conduct the regular courses for a common person, there are many students, they have got heavy weight, obese, above normal. In the same class, there are some students, their weight is less, below normal. And some students are normal weight. So all three combinations are there in only one yoga class. I can take an example of a residential course, which 1 month residential course. So all of them come together, above weight, normal weight, below weight. We teach the same program to all of them. Your course syllabus is defined. So you have to follow the same syllabus. So they are doing same. Daily routine also is same. Diet also is same because we provide the food. So everything is identical for all these three different levels of weight. And when the course is over, we again measure the weights. The result is very surprising. The students who are having above weight, obesity, their weight has been reduced by 4 or 5 kgs at least. The students with low weight, lower than normal, their weight is increased, maybe by 2 or 3 kgs. Figures may vary. And the students with normal weight, there is no change in the weight. It is not increased, neither reduced. This is a surprising result because all of them were given the same treatment throughout the month. Totally daily routine is same, practicing yoga practices are same, diet also is same, everything is identical. But result is different. That means with the same practices, weight of some students is reduced, weight of some students is increased, and weight of many students is not changed at all. So what does it mean? It means yoga is a process of normalization. I can give many examples because we have taken a lot of work on that. It may be for disease also. Above normal and below normal. If you can say thyroid, above normal and below normal, hyperthyroidism, hypothyroidism. And normal again. Combination of all three, if you give the same treatment, little variation may be in pranayama, that's all. But asanas and all that, cleansing process, everything is same. But the hyperthyroidism, people come down to normal. Hypothyroidism, they are raised up and come to normal. This can be considered for the mental situation also. They're all lethargic. They become more expert, smart. The same practice. And with the same practice, over smart people can come to normal. Likewise, in our teaching of yoga and yoga therapy, you got a lot of experience like this. So I want to say that yoga is a process of normalization. This is the conclusion of all these things. This may be for a healthy person or diseased person also. Your disease also is an abnormal condition. So most of the patients, we run the therapy center also. We have got yoga and naturopathy hospital where we admit the patient. And we don't admit for a particular disease, we admit for any disease. It's a combination. Maybe above normal, below normal, and all that, and different diseases also. Of course, some treatment is different. get some result, because our course is for 10 days. So patients are staying there for 10 days. So definitely we must get positive result within 10 days. That is why we have to modify the things. But we have one special course, which we call it Yoga Sanjeevan. And this course is common for all diseases. Mostly exceptions are there. But mostly this course is common for all diseases. We give all the course treatment. In addition, because we want earlier results, fast results, we have to add some practices to this course. The practice may be asana, pranayamas, and cleansing process and all that. But basic course is common. That is why this also, the results of this course also are supporting to the statement that yoga is a process of normalization. Only thing, we want to get the result very fast, so we add something. That's all. So that is why yoga is contributing to health. And one more thing I want to mention, that there are different traditions which we have already discussed. In every yoga institute, there are yoga therapy centers. They give the treatment to the different diseases, and they are cured. But if you start studying the yogic practices for a particular disease, they are varying in different institutes. But still, everybody is getting the good result. Sometimes I found that some asanas, we say this is not good for the disease, but some other institute, they teach the same asana and they get the good results. So basic concept is this, that it is a process of normalization. And then that is why we can say changes. Of course, this is not 100% perfect. There are some exceptions are there. Some addition, deletions are there. That's very basic. Basic concept remains as it is. So that is how we get good results. And good results are there for every institute and for many diseases also. But at the same time, we have found that if you get a particular patient or a particular disease, we give certain treatment. But if you get similar patient, still we have to give some different treatment. So the differences are to be observed properly, minutely rather, because we must get fast results. That is what is expected from the patients. For maintenance of health, yes, common yoga practices. And that is the experience of all institutes. They have different courses, but they get the same result. Maintenance of health is there. And for diseased persons, patients, that also I explained that many variations are there, but they are giving the same results. That may be the speciality of yoga. This cannot happen with any other therapy, particular disease, particular medicine. You cannot say same medicine is useful for all diseases. Definitely not. But yoga, we can say yes. That is why we are getting very good results, even in therapeutic aspect also, and maintenance of health also. Because everything is being normal, and normal is perfect health. If all aspects are normal, all parameters are normal, that is a perfect health. So yoga can provide the perfect health, because yogic practices are designed to bring to normal, because after normalization, the development starts. If something is abnormal, then development will not start. So that is why all yogic practices definitely bring everything to normal, and then the development starts, and that may reach to the Ishwar or Paramatman at the end. And one more point I would like to add. In our tradition, as already explained, that Swami Shivananda, Swami Satyananda, Swami Niranjanananda, this is our tradition. All yogic practices are, most of them are similar. But particularly, we make use of the special technique developed by Swami Satyananda Saraswati, and that is Yoga Nidra. The therapeutic aspect. It's giving very good results. Because Yoga Nidra, as designed by Swami Satyananda Saraswati, is not mentioned in any ancient text. He himself has developed this Yoga Nidra technique, which has become very popular within 50, 60 years. He has developed the technique before about 60 years ago. And within the 60 years, Yoga Nidra has become very popular. Yoga Nidra provides relaxation, everybody knows. But beyond that, I want to say that Yoga Nidra provides some mental management, some mental thoughts, rather in particular the mental memories. Because some of these memories, they are disturbing the health. You know, mind is always connected with health of the body, that everybody knows. I want to mention that particularly some memories, they disturb the health. And unless those memories are not cleared, the health cannot improve. Again, I would like to give one example in very short. There is two patients. They're not patients actually. They were young persons. One was 20 years old, but his weight was 138 kg. And his younger brother was 18 years old, but his weight was 158 kg. So obese. Otherwise, health was normal. So we kept them in one room. Full treatment was common. Even food also was common. But at the end, we observed that the older one, he has reduced his weight by 5-6 kgs. Younger one has not reduced the weight at all. When I gone through the interview with that person, I found that he has got fixed thought in the mind that his weight is not going to reduce by any means. I'm giving it short now. So because of that thought, his yogic treatment also could not work on his body. His weight was not reduced at all. So I prepared one Yoga Nidra for that. It is specially designed Yoga Nidra. Of course, basic structure is from Swami Satyananda Saraswati, and some modifications were there. I give the Yoga Nidra to that person to practice. And after practicing, we are given the same yogic treatment, and then his weight was reduced by 5-6 kgs in 10 days. So this is how the memories are affecting the physical health. This can be for any disease also. Suppose a diabetes person is there. He takes different medicines from different doctors and different pathies, and still his diabetes is not cured. Everybody tells him that your diabetes is lifelong. So he has got a fixed thought in the mind that his diabetes is not going to be cured by anything. And if such patients come to our center, yoga center, they do yoga, all these techniques, fixed program of diabetes and all that. But still there is no change. Because the thought is there inside their mind. That thought prevents all this yogic treatment to have the effect on his body. So it is no effect. But Yoga Nidra can modify that thought. That's why I call it Yoga Nidra psychotherapy. So it modifies. Of course, specific Yoga Nidra is to be prepared for that particular person. So that thought is modified. That his diabetes can be cured by yoga. That is a new thought, which we implant in his memories strongly through Yoga Nidra. And then yogic practices work on that person. So that is why this is a specific experience which we are regularly taking in our yoga therapy center. So likewise, there are so many interesting things are there. for health and health problems also. But as far as the time provided, I explained something to you. So I definitely thanks MDNY officials and particularly Dr. Basareddy ji for giving me a chance and opportunity to explain all these things to you. Hari Om.
Thank you so much, sir, for this insightful lecture. Thank you, thank you. Now I would like to request Communication and Documentation Officer of MDNY, Mohammad Tayyab Alam sir, to deliver vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Vandana. It's my profound wish to extend vote of thanks for the webinar on yoga tradition, their contribution to health and well-being. Respected experts, officer, staff, and the students of MDY, all my friends who have joined this webinar on yoga tradition, their contribution to health and well-being. आप सबको मेरा सादर प्रणाम. At the outset, I would like to place my sincere gratitude to Yogacharya Dr. Vishwas Vasant Malik sir, President Yoga Vidya Dham, Nasik, Maharashtra, for sparing his valuable time and gracing the occasion with his presence. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable insight on yoga and health. My deepest gratitude to respected Yogacharya Sri S. Sridharan sir, leading yoga expert and trustee, Krismacharya Yoga Mandiram, Chennai, for his enlightening address. Thank you very much, sir, for sparing your views on the legacy of KYM Chennai traditions. I'm also thankful to respected Dr. Iswar Bhardwaj, sir, former professor and head, Department of Yoga Science, Gurukul Kangri, Haridwar, for sparing his valuable time and sharing his opinion on Hatha Yoga and other components of yoga. I'm extremely thankful to respected Dr. Iswar V. Basavaredi sir, Director Murarji Desai Institute of Yoga, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, for his gracious presence and wholehearted support to organize this webinar on yoga tradition, their contribution to health and well-being. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your time and always be like a catalyst with us. I'm thankful to Dr. Vandana for her untiring support throughout this webinar. Last but not the least, I would like to extend my thanks to the staff, officers, and the students of MDY and everyone who have directly or indirectly associated with us for today's event. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Namaskar, sir. Thank you very much. जय हिंद.
अब कार्यक्रम का समापन शांति पाठ के साथ. ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ओम शांति शांति शांति. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आप सभी का.